Hi folks, I'm here with Siena Root from Sweden. Welcome at Roots and Roses. We have here an interview together with Frederik for MCCALLA, also for Jan Vervaeke YouTube and for Dump Magazine. I let the word to Frederik to start the interview.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jan. Hello, Siena Root. So how was your day so far? That's the most stupid question, but let's go with this one.
It's been good. A bit hectic since we arrived here this morning, driving all night, and so we got a few hours sleep at the hotel. But it's been good so far. It was a nice show.
Okay, and how was the reaction of the public?
I had a good vibe. It felt like everybody was having a good time, and even though it was stressful, it was a good energy from the crowd, for sure.
Was it your first time in Belgium, or maybe second or third time?
No, we played in Belgium quite a few times. So I don't know exactly, but 10 times or something like that. So
okay, 10 times.
Never in these parts, and never on this festival. So it was really nice to see this type of festival, a bit different from the generic rock festivals. So quite nice, I would say.
But it's your first time here on the Roots and Roses Festival?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and you hope you can play back in the future, maybe?
As soon as you like, we'll be here.
Okay. So I heard it's the end of the tour, so then you go back home. What are the plans afterwards, or are there no plans?
For the band, you mean? Or? Yeah. Well, moving forward, we're planning to rehearse more for coming shows that's being played throughout summer. We have an album that's being released in August, so we're working on that and promoting that, and so that's the coming plans.
So it looks like you have a busy time ahead. Of course, I'm a bit rude. I forgot to ask you to introduce yourself. So my name is Frederik. Can you please introduce yourself and tell the people who are looking what your function is in the band?
Okay, I'm Johan. I play guitar.
I'm Jimi Hendrix. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Sue. I play organ and I sing.
I'm Sam. I play bass guitar.
I'm Love. I'm the percussionist of the band.
Okay, that's clear now. For me, the name Siena Root was, I admit, it was a bit unknown, although I'm a music freak. A big mistake, so let's put this clear. But can you tell us a bit about the history of the band? Who wants to have the word? Oh, that's it. Who's the history guy? Who's the history guy? Shall I appoint the history guy, or is there a Chinese volunteer? Okay.
So where to start?
At the beginning.
It started out with me and Sam. We did some jamming and playing covers back in the days in the late 90s. And then from that we founded the band Siena Root some time around millennia 2000. And we released the first album in 2004, and from that on we've been constantly touring and experimenting with different styles of this root rock we play.
So the sound has evolved over time, and how many albums have you written in between let's say the first one and the last one?
We are releasing, you have to correct me if I can't count, but I think it's the 8th studio album we're releasing in August now. And then we've had a few singles, like 7 inches, and a live album. But counting studio full-length album, it's the 8th one coming up now.
Okay, perfect. And there's a new one coming up for August. That's also important to know, of course.
It's called Revelation.
Revelation. Is there a reasoning behind, or?
Well, yes, it is.
Let's hear it.
Do I have to answer that also?
No.
I think you can you get the answer if you hear the record. I think. Yeah.
Okay. That's clear. That's clear. Okay.
It will be too shallow to just put it forth in one sentence. I think.
It's up to us to discover. Jan has also a question.
Yeah. So I personally knew the band before. I had 2 albums with male singer. I don't know. I can't remember which albums because I had that many and I had some accident at home, so they're all in disorder. So I will have to recheck them again. But I was very surprised now with the concert with Zoo now was really very great. I know you had some technical problems in the beginning of the show, but it didn't hurt the ambience and the. It was all great to show. If I would say how you sound, I would say like 2/3 Jekstot and 1/3 Blues Pills. What do you think now about this? Have you some feedback on this? If I give this impression of how you sound now, because before I think it was more like rootsy, more like rock, and now it's like more like the soul blues thing from Blues Pills and the psychedelic part from Jekstot. That was my impression when I heard this concert. What do you think? Who's gonna answer?
Yeah, I mean, I would say Siena Root is always a band that has been evolving from time to time, and I think it's for every new lineup that comes along, you put in your own flavor and you make a new soup, so to speak. And I mean, I love Elin from Blues Pills, and also I'm very inspired by old school blues singers like Rita Franklin, Big Mama Thornton, and all of these like very powerful women. So for me, it makes me very happy to hear that is translated into music as well. That being said, I mean, we're a very democratic band. Everybody brings, their part of the stew, like Love brings the potatoes, Samir brings the steak, and and then Johan comes with the nice red wine sauce, and I don't know what am I the seasoning? I'm not sure. Somebody tell me what I am. It's easier for me to tell me what you are.
But you all eat the stew. That's also important.
Yeah, it's probably like that.
Hippie stew. That's the main
hippie stew.
Yeah.
The sound reminded me a bit of the late '60s, because you have all these new, let's say, retro bands, especially in Sweden. There's a lot of them and very interesting ones, like you. But your sound is like the one who is the most genuine, the most original, I think, authentic. Just an impression. So I don't know if it's meant to be this way or coincidence or.
No, but I think we've been digging deep in the history regarding equipment, production, sounds, and I would dare to stick out my cheek and say that we are probably the only one that delivers vinyls that are 100% analog product. Most bands have computers involved in their production chain. We don't.
That makes a lot of sense. As a matter of fact, some bands may sound like, and you have all the right original ingredients to make the original soup. Let's put it this way.
And that being said, sound-wise, we are looking very much into the past. But musically, I think we don't try to sound like something that has already been heard. We try to make a new soup. A new soup with with old ingredients.
Take one step backwards and 2 steps forward.
That's a nice quote. I understand that. Jan,
talking about like the 60s and the location here, and you talked also about Jimi Hendrix. Well, that's a fact here. 40 kilometers from here, in the year '67, Mr. Jimi Hendrix, he played here a concert just in a small venue. And the same day he played later in Paris. So that's. I was very unlucky. I was -3 years old, so I couldn't be at at this concert. So now.
It was the only time he played in Belgium, actually.
Yeah, the only time in '67. So in Moucron, also this part of Belgium, the French-speaking part, just a bit more close to the French border. So that's about Jimi Hendrix. Now back to here. Can you give an impression of the whole organization here? And you give already a bit. What do you think about the organization, like things like food and how they received you, and who's gonna answer this? Yeah.
It was good. It was a really nice festival all in all. That's nothing, absolutely nothing to complain about. We had a little mishap about what time we were supposed to enter the stage. We had received one time, they had another, but besides that, fantastic festival all in all, and I'm impressed by, as I said earlier, the variety of music that you can go. I haven't heard so many bands yet, but it seems like you can listen to a lot of genres here, but still connected somehow.
Well, talking about genres and talking about musical tastes, about each one of you, suppose each one of you is on a separate desert island. You have only a record player. You don't like digital, so it's not going to be a CD player, just a record player. And you can only listen to 3 albums. Which 3 albums will each one of you take on a desert island? And maybe you're not on the same island, so you only can listen 3, no sharing the albums. Who's gonna start this hard question?
I think you want to start.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, do it.
All right, I have 2 at least. BB King live at the Regal. Black Sabbath's the first. And then the third, I think I have to think about it for a minute more.
Okay, I would have to say, vad heter den skivan med Freddie King? Den första som han har, alltså den med. You believe my woman alone. Vad heter den? Är det den tredje? Actually, any record by Freddie King, to be fair, I would bring along just because he's fantastic. I would bring along Mother's Finest live, for sure. That's one of my favorite live records, and also it's such a good record. And then, I mean, early works of Aretha Franklin, for sure. She has some bootleg albums from her early days from the church. That's I'm not religious, but I'll get religious just listening to that, for sure.
You gave me a heads up, so I've been thinking a bit. So I will be naming 3 live albums, and that's because I think I'm smart. Then I cheat the question because all live albums from the day are doubles. Yes. So then I bring 6 records to the island.
Perfect. This is so unfair.
No, it's called planning. So can you bring the Black Sabbath 6 first album in a box? No. I take Deep Purple made in Japan. And I take Bob Marley and the Wailers, Babylon by Bus. Yeah. And I also take Uriah Heep Live 1973. Yeah. 6 records, packaged as 3.
You stole one of mine, Babylon by Bus. Well, I'm also a reggae fan, so I could very well also, if it's taken already by Sam here, it can very well do with a Uprising, Bob Marley, and then Dark Side of the Moon. I think it's a great record that's great all the way through, and very pioneering when it comes to concept albums. And then something from my youth, it would be Blood Sugar Sex Magic. It's also a record that's a great one all the way through, with a great mix of punk attitude and good songwriting.
Okay, thanks a lot. Jan?
Don't forget his third album. He's trying.
Oh, yes. There we go.
Don't let him get out of it. Yeah.
The third album?
Or do you
It's a
want
hard
to
one.
go to the island with only two?
Yeah.
Sorry,
You want to go to the island with only 2 records?
I could go to the island with only those 2 records. It's fucking hard. I would say kind of blue. Miles Davis, kind of blue.
Kinda blue, yeah. Timeless music.
Yeah.
If you
I
go
thought you would say Towns Van Sant.
I love him as well.
Yeah.
Kind of blue.
But kind of blue.
Excellent choice.
I have 2 more questions because, a short tour after view. What did you think about this tour? And maybe you told about the record to come out. Do you have other plans besides the records? It might be like a lyric video coming out or something else that comes out to promote the records. So that there are two questions in the same time.
We'll be releasing singles before the record comes out. So that will promote. And we also release a movie that will be released the same time as the record, with about the same length as the record, like a 45 minute movie. So that one is to keep your eyes open for also.
Yeah.
And then the other question I think was involved is the plans. We have some festivals going on this summer, so we'll be heading out for those. Both in Germany and in Sweden.
Okay.
So look out for that.
And it will be you will be headlining, or is it co-headlining tour? Sorry.
No, I mean, we will play, for example, Börje, so we're obviously not headlining there. Then we'll play some smaller festivals where we headline. We will play Sweden Rock also, obviously not headlining.